Never lower your target, guys. Increase your actions. Grant Cardin, the author of the 10x rule and the founder of the same. Boom. Quite a small game today. A very tiny one. Capablanca versus Mice's James. Exhibition game. Mice's Jack. Sorry. The famous British grandmaster. Yes. The English goat. Uh, I've heard a bit about him. Exhibition game, Berlin 1913, D4, knight f6, c4, Benoni. This is some sort of structure where I am usually comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time. Depends on the player upon play. I am playing. If I'm playing against a strong player, then I just don't like such middle games and everything because they are just very, very resourceful for black practically. Though very solid and very free flowing, quite logical and obviously better for black whites at the same time. But whatever. Smith Beroni was a virtually known idea at the time of this game. D4, D5, C. Knight C3 is the Smith game, Benoni. Acha, okay. I think this is the Wesley Soul line nowadays, like Knight C3 for Bishop F4. Ojwal, my friend, plays this a lot. G6. The question is, can black play B5 here, transposing into a Benko gambit? Obviously, he can do that. That would be quite interesting, though not that effective because there is indeed a line, but White has not committed to E4 as such because I mean, it's usually not committed as well because here it's the line is sorry, like uh, I guess the line is D6 C G6 C4 नहीं क्या होती है मेरे को भी line नहीं यही होती है ना अच्छा D4 D5 C4 होती है वो बट हाँ ऑब्वियसली कन्वर्ट किया जा सकता है दो आई वुड थिंक दैट इज नॉट दैट गुड बिकॉज G3 वाले सेटअप्स ओपन है सो yeah whatever only if Mises was clairvoyant and gazed into the future since the opening had yet to be in lol okay opening invent ही नहीं हुई थी okay 1913 all right नाइट C3 प्रैक्टिकली बहुत अच्छी होती है लाइन्स स्पेशली एंड वाइट को यूजुअली पता होना चाहिए वो क्या कर रहा है कैसे कर रहा है दैट स्टिल दीज लाइन्स आर नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर मी एंड इट शुड बी लाइक वेरी वेल प्रिपेयर्ड फ्रॉम वाइट्स एंड अदरवाइज ही कैन गेट इनटू बिग बिग ट्रबल प्रीटी सून आई मीन कुछ लाइन्स ऐसी होती है which just I mean most of the lines are like that only but some lines are specifically like that if you don't have any subtle idea practice and the structural understanding then you'll just screw up and lose the games just like that or get at the minimum a worst position out of the opening. Though that doesn't mean you don't know how to play chess and you can't win, but I would prefer like if you get a good position from the opening, then you will have an advantage and you'll have the lead throughout the game and you'll be the one in the driving seat. So why don't you just go there and why do you even want to give your opponent some space and be on the defensive end? Why don't you want to be on the aggressive and the punching and regardless of the color? So G6, Bishop G7, E4, castle, Bishop E2, okay. I tend to play H3 in this position. Question to what purpose? Obviously, the purpose is to stop Bishop G4 and Knight G4, Knight E5 maneuvers. In the Benoni, Black's problem piece is a light square Bishop, exactly. Generally, okay, side of Bishop G4, exactly. Exactly. Also, remember, Black is somewhat cramped, so any trades, exactly. E6, that is fine. Question, what if Black's plays kings in your style with E5? That is a way, some kind of old Indian snake defense something, but this might not be a good position to do so because he just can't get his light square bishop traded. And I feel that should be a very happy position where, I mean, obviously, it's white should know what is he doing, but A3, B4, and all these things, and white will be like the one ruling out the game and playing for an advantage without any doubt. In the Benoni, black is generally, oh, sorry. Then I suggest Petrosian system with bishop G5. White scores a very file I'm gonna favorite sense black से exactly हाँ मतलब ऐसी से भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हो और whatever पेट्रोशियन सिस्टम इज गुड एज वेल किंग्स इंडियन सिस्टम का जो एक होता है मैंने ट्राई किया हुआ है मैंने खेला हुआ है पहले बहुत पहले castle ed and then today the more dynamic cd create win more winning a person commonly played ठीक है ed I have got I think similar positions many times if I'm not wrong bishop g4 is the move and if I'm not wrong I have got this position a few times and maybe against the same player there's a guy from Gujarat I can show you I had this game in Gujarat like this exact position I'm 100% sure about that and bishop g4 h3 I was played here but let me see this question. I don't understand the reason for this unforced retreat. Why did you play it? Okay. I was going to give this move until criticize openings of the old lion. You can't speak evil, your mouth is sealed. Black should play for trade, bishop g4. Though I would like to see that thing which does exist here. I mean, I'm gonna show it to you. Uh, yeah. Okay, well, कहाँ खेला था? बहुत टाइम हो गया। कहीं तो खेला था, हाँ यहाँ कहीं खेला। नहीं, और पहले खेला था। बाप रे, कितने सारे इवेंट खेल लिए मैंने। I'm just gonna show it to you guys. यहीं कहीं था। I mean, सौमिक तो नहीं था। कृतेश जेठवानी। दिवांश गुप्ता, यस ये था। Okay, 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 okay. Not let's not see the annotations because I'm not good at it. But I think this should be. यार ये B6 वाला गेम क्यों लग रहा है मुझे? हाँ, ट्रांसपोज हुआ था कहीं ना कहीं। Yes, takes E6, takes, and 98. And as you can see here, Bishop, I have analyzed this in depth. The S3 is much better. I continued the game with Bishop F4, and all these things happen. Where I had a very pleasant advantage. I don't know, but somehow I went on to win the game. Knight E8 is a move, and this stuff was happening. Exact game. And believe it or not, I happened to play this guy again, and I lost him. I think the next time we played, and I lost him. I was not in a good mindset playing that event in Indore only. And no, I won that game as well, lol. And we had the exact same line, if I'm not wrong. The exact same line, yes. And somehow I kind of regretted that it's been a few months and I haven't even seen this line. And when he played this line, I ended up knowing, oh, dude, this is literally the same guy. And this was a close game. I was about to mess it up. Yeah. Okay, B1 would have been better, something like this. I must have analyzed the game. With Sir, with Bishop F3, A6, Bishop G5. This is somehow what happened in the game. Not that best I'm playing. Bishop F2 is a mistake. King G2, yeah, मुझे भी नहीं पता मैंने क्यों खेला Bishop F2. That's a very crucial bishop. क्या घटिया खेलता था मैं. Queen D3 takes, Bishop F1 goes back. God knows कैसे जीता हूँ मैं. It's just मुझे खुद ही नहीं याद. पता नहीं उल्लू बना के तो जीता हूँ. God knows. Yeah, but whatever. And I still haven't studied, looked at this line. And that's why analyzing your games is very important because at least what you play, you know that you analyze this, and whenever it comes again, the next time will be well prepared. So that's how you gain your advantage. And कहीं तो मैंने पढ़ा था, I mean, it's just like आपकी online वगैरह line जो आप पढ़ते हो, so that is fine. But the lines which I think मुझे उज्जवल बता रहा था, the lines which you face on the chessboard, even if you don't know them, you never ever tend to forget them. When what happens on a real chess tournament on the chessboard, and that's the line where you have your most experiences in and all the times compared to an online game. So yeah, that's a good thing. And also, if you face it again next time, then you're just gaining your knowledge, you're just getting more experience, and you're getting more and more strong and comfortable in some certain positions. Hmm. BCG, that's a bit dubious. For sure, in this position, the dark squares will be too weak. It's so strategically so right. Yeah, true. Answer Kappa got far by the game that weekend all exactly. Exactly. Okay, no. Knight G7, very poor play. Knight F6 covering E4. I'm looking for swaps, so it's much better. Rook E8 is coming. Grandmaster strength, pure tactician, tended to fold like a cheap umbrella. Who just wouldn't get versus. Lifetime record versus Kappa. Oh no. Even I could match if I get it. Lol. Board D6, D6 is sensitive, 94, quite smooth and quite magnificent and just automatic, slick play, just making some normal moves. F6, Bishop G5 was the idea. Bishop G4, F4 comes now. 98, Bishop H6, just automatic moves. Knight G7, why self pin? तो क्या करेगा? क्या ही करेगा भाई? Queen D6 आ रहा है ना? Knight F6 पे तो sorry, Queen D6 नहीं, Knight G5 आ रहा है. Yes, Knight G5 is quite strong. Yes, Knight G5 is. The black ended the game ending trap by knight g5. Yes. Now let's assess the position. Wait, he can. ठीक है. Let's assess the position after knight g7. White managed to weaken the pawn in front of flexing. Okay. So the question arises: what should be implemented up to flare up White's attack? Okay, let's think. सारे पीसेस आने चाहिए गेम में. रुक भी वन के बाद p6 आ जाएगा. As such कुछ भी तगड़ा नहीं है. h4 h5 can be optically good, though I personally feel that there should be something better. Bishop f4 back wouldn't make any sense. 98 it could be a draw. 95 94 cash. ठीक है, हल्की सी पोजीशन और इम्प्रूव हो सकती है. उसकी अगली मूव है नाइट a6, जिसका हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. बट क्वीन g4 मे बी कैन इंटरेस्टिंग मूव, बट f5 आ जाएगा. सो कुछ तो करना ही पड़ेगा. e6 पे बैठा दिया जाए तो क्या. इंटरेस्टिंग स्टफ. व्हाट शुड वी स्टार्ट विद देन. ओके एवरीवन, क्लियर. b6 आ रहा है, डजंट मेक एनी सेंस. g5 पे h4 आ रहा है. बिशप नोट 6 पिट करके ट्राई करने का कोई सेंस नहीं है. 97 आ जाएगा. g4 जैसी मूव्स अननेसेसरी टू वीकनिंग. थोड़ा सा पीसेस को हिलाने का मन कर रहा है मेरा. बस ऐसे ही थोड़ा सा रीराउट करो, थोड़ा सा रिपोजिशन करो. बट द पॉइंट इज दैट आई डोंट नो, माय इंट्यूशन से देयर शुड बी समथिंग. एज ब्लैक के दोनों पीसेस गम है, बंद है, बट हिज पोजीशन इज क्वाइट सॉलिड एट द सेम टाइम. सो आई डाउट दैट. I doubt that. I doubt that. Bishop f4, 98. I don't know why, but that position looks quite happy to me, considering that the bishop was good on f4 and 98, quite passive. Queen g3, then simple queen f3, queen g3. Hmm. a4, a5 can be a thing as well, but it's not going anywhere. h4, h5, bishop f4, h4 can be a nice idea as well, you know. I would play bishop f4 and h4, because उसका knight भी कहीं से गेम में नहीं आ रहा है. knight a6 e7 जरूर कर सकता है वो, but what? I just can't. I don't know. Answer step come all, yeah, faithful. Awaken his only dormant piece. Very nice move, हाँ. मैं नहीं सोच पाता कभी रुक d1, because वो कर क्या रहा है रुक d1 पे, मैं तो वो सोच रहा हूँ. खैर, d1 पे भी कुछ खास नहीं करता, बट नाउ देयर मे बी सम पॉसिबिलिटीज ऑफ सैक्रिफाइस ऑन c. ठीक है. ओ उफ. Oof, yeah, nice move. Okay, either I just don't do it at all or I do it with full focus. Because this is not the way to do it. Nice idea. Wow, quite simple and very subtle and very instructive at the same time. Wow, I mean, very subtle idea. So, ठीक है, रुक है. Wow, wow, wow. Simple, such free flowing moves. शायद, मतलब ऑफ कोर्स 10-15 मिनट सोचता तो मिल जाता शायद ये आइडिया. बट वेरी नाइस, वेरी नाइस. ठीक है, मिस हो गया. Ouch. I could have found it, you know, just a few seconds, just a few, oh, a minute or two more. But okay. रुके. Yes, nice यार, nice, मजा आया. Knight c7, he should sit tight. Impatient, yes, मैं भी इसी वजह से जीता था देवांश के अगेंस्ट, बाय द वे. ऐसा impatient हो गया था वो. Makes poor defender, I guess misses mood, but now dark has sector escalating abuse. Very nice. I like it. बूम, आजा एक्सचेंज कर, आजा एंड गेम आजा. सबसे अच्छा एंड गेम तो मुझे आता है. Aja. Taking on B7 is okay, but somehow feels like a petty distraction in such a position where black can barely move. Let's go after black's king instead. Find your target and come up with a plan. All right, one more exercise. And Harshit better not disappoint himself like this time. अच्छा था रुक के दिख जाना चाहिए था यार इजी था पिछले वाला भी वेरी सिंपल मैंने गिव अप कर दिया रुक नहीं आ रहा गेम में बट नहीं मुझे भी डीप डाउन पता था वही आना चाहिए बट आ ही नहीं रहा था मैं क्या ठीक है कुछ और करते हैं ना बी ग्रेट can we go knight e6 that is the question rook h3 makes sense as well पूरा क्रैम पड़ा हुआ है वो rook e3 makes sense as well rook e3 f5 takes t rook h3 makes a lot of sense actually makes a lot of sense मुझे तो कोई डिफरेंस ही नहीं दिख रहा या तो मैं अच्छे से ढूंढ ही नहीं रहा हूँ no that looks pretty strong huh? Yes मतलब पता नहीं मुझे क्या था बट ब्रिंग ऑल ऑफ योर पीसेस इनटू दैट टैग इतना मुश्किल भी नहीं था क्या ही है मतलब डिंग 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 सब क्रैम्ड है तो ठीक है ओके गुड ओके सी बूम ये सिर्फ भाई पिटाई हो रही है कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा f4 which d7 and d7 takes black begins to discard material the way one scraps mud off a field issue knight f5 rook e6 pretty little baby boom 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 was founded on solid. Yes, exactly. Clearly, virtually all of Kappa's attack was founded on solid positional chess. बहुत क्यूट था यार ये वाला तो बहुत ही प्यारा था ठीक है of course this is standard stuff अच्छे से नहीं खेला गया but knight g5 is the move I really like because Capablanca knows the importance of keeping these knights on the board as well. I would play some moves like h3 or something but Kappa realizes that the bishop is not going good and even trading that bishop I mean, you can't avoid a piece trade, so why not just trade? I mean, book में highlight नहीं किया गया, but I can just feel it that why could just trading this piece like the knight. I mean, just keeping the knights on the chessboard and trading off the bishops is much more practical and better compared to trading the pawns. Sorry, the bishop for the knight. See, I mean, even though it looks yeah, even BC3 can be interesting. And of course, this is a game, but indeed, this position is closed, the center is locked, and white does seem to have a very nice edge, but it's hard to play practically and just not humanish because the position is quite close. There are some weak targets, the dark squares are going to be weak, and Kappa realizes that keeping this f3 knight, especially how important is that instead of making any other move. And I really like that fact. So yeah, bc3 clear nice move takes and then very nice move simple this is अब तो बहुत smooth हो गया है बस आपको move करना है and here brilliant rook at d1 rook d3 that's just simply magnificent I mean very simple very subtle बच्चे को भी एक आइडिया समझ में आ जाएगा जिसको मैं चेस फर्स्ट टाइम दिखा रहा हूँ but it's just like you have to choose from 10 different things and you have to find such simple ideas. It's about the decision making, priority, and just some less calculation, but more over the understanding doing what because I know I don't know much chess. I am very poor at it, but I still know decent chess as I'm teaching many kids. So the even the moves with plants which came into my mind were somehow related to capturing these six. Though I'm not sure they are bad plans at all. But yeah, I'm sure that they are not good plants, great plants either. But rook a d1, rook d3, this is just simply very powerful and very subtle at the same time. Computer though says bishop f4 is a nice move. Okay, computer prefers my move. Wow. Okay. Maybe I am the goat. ओके 98 के बाद क्वीन E3. ओके ओके मैं क्वीन F3 बोल रहा था बट आई होप दैट डजंट मैटर मच. 97 रियली पॉन सैक. 95 आ रहा है क्या? तो ये मार देते. अच्छा अभी भी 95 है. आउच. आई मिस दैट. हाँ अभी भी 95 रहेगा. बट अभी भी F4 आ रहा है. I don't know, I just feel like a zombie apocalypse is about to start. कल मैंने वो देखी बहुत टाइम बाद, ट्रेन टू बुसान. बहुत टाइम बाद, बचपन में देखी थी. H4 या वही मतलब ठीक है. देखो पता है मेरा आइडिया भी कुछ खराब नहीं था. देखो भाई मैं बस सही क्यों बोला मैंने. कुछ खराब नहीं था भाई देखो. कुछ बुरा नहीं था ठीक है. बट हाँ कैपाब्लांका's आइडिया वाज वेरी सटल एंड क्वाइट लॉजिकल. आई मीन जस्ट व्हाई नॉट. कुछ भी नहीं किया. एंड अपोनेंट डिड क्रैक. अब ठीक है नाइट भी करता क्रैक तो ठीक है गेम है. अब लाते में भी रुक हिस्ट्री. अब में भी H4 वुड हैव बीन गुड. 95 नहीं आ रहा है. ये तो स्मूथ फ्री फ्लोइंग पोजीशन है. रुक F3 पे थोड़ा सा तंग कर निकले जा सकते थे. हाँ रुक E3 इज आल्सो गुड एंड डिसेंट एट द सेम टाइम. रुक A3 चले गए. A6 क्या ही करेगा. बहुत क्रैम्ड है. यहाँ जाएगा और क्या. बट नाइट F6 बूम. नाइट F6 नाइट C5 या बूम बूम. ये मतलब क्या ही है, मतलब बहुत ही वो दिख रहा है मुझे क्रैम्प. 98 बट अगेन रुक F3. H4 वही. G4 इज ऑल्सो इंटरेस्टिंग. कंप्यूटर बोल रहा है G4 लाओ नाइट लाओ. कहीं ना कहीं पिटाई हो जानी चाहिए. H4 G4 सब फेंक दो. सब फेंक दो. देख रहे हो रंजन बोल रहा है सब फेंक दो. बहुत अच्छी पोजीशन है. नाइस. बट हाँ मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कैपेब्लांका वाला आइडिया. एंड नाउ आई काइंड ऑफ do have some experience but kind of feel little confident, even more confident. That was clearly game over. Queen E7 is again not that easy move to find. That's a bit counterintuitive, but yeah, not that hard either. And yeah, not being tempted by the pawn on B7 is slightly counterintuitive from a human's perspective. We are greedy guys. So yeah, rook H3 was a finishing blow and boom boom. Pretty stuff, quite pretty stuff. And Capablanca just make it look so easy, man. Like against player like Mices who are like really really strong and have their own OG classical games themselves. It's just look so much harmony, so much easy, and this looks kind of very smooth and slick. That's the beauty of Capablanca. Even I didn't know I know what went wrong for him, and I don't even know what did I learn, but it just kind of feels so smooth, and I'm for sure having a good time. And hope you are too. Cheers.